Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to look at some photos I recently took in Toulouse. This was of a sunset behind a building which had artificial light upon it. However, the artificial light wasn't bright enough for the camera to expose properly for both the artificial light and the sunset at the same time. So instead, we're taking exposure early on in the evening for the correct sunset, the sunset we want, and then we're taking exposures later on in the evening once the sun's gone down and the sky is dark, which expose correctly for the building. So what we're going to look at today is blending both of those photos together into one frame. So here we have 5 photos in exactly the same position. My camera is left on a tripod. Here we can see the sky appears nicely, there's no blown out areas, nice colours, but there's just a building, the lights have only just come on and you really can't see that much detail on them. Further along, here the sky is slightly more blown out, you're not actually losing any details here, there's no white, and the water's a nicer colour, it's not so dark, but still we can see the buildings, the buildings and bridge have got artificial lighting which is still quite dull. We go along to this photo here, this one here, the sky is just too light now, we're losing detailing around here. The building's getting somewhere near correctly exposed but not quite still there. So then here we get to the later shots. Now the building's looking correctly exposed, the bridge is good as well, and this building over here on the right is also good. Another image just ever so slightly later on again. The water, I prefer the water in this one. The streak's less distracting here. Right, okay, so we're going to select the 2 images we want to work with, which is going to be these 2. And we're going to rate those. So now we've selected these 2 images, the ones we want to work with. So I'm just going to quickly go in and tweak the colour slightly in Lightroom. Adjust the white balance to more represent how it looked in real life. So go to the develop module. Here we're just going to play with these sliders, the temperature and the tint, just to try and bring out the colours that I saw on the evening. So there's a little bit more purple and a bit stronger pinks, just like that. You don't want to go too far because it looks unnatural. But somewhere around there, it's closer to how it looked on the evening. I'm going to bring these shadows up so slightly, just to make it a little bit easier later on. Just cooling those lights off ever so slightly. Right, now I want to go back into Library, select the 2 photos, I'm going to export, overwrite those, and they'll load up in Photoshop. Okay, first I'm going to do Control A, Control C, Control W, Control V. So all we've done now is we've got both photos on top of each other in the same image. Delete the background layer. So I've just taken the background and went down to the new layer button and created a copy of it. So what we're going to do is going to rename these. So we've got sunset and buildings. Right, okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a mask for this photo at the top. So we're going to drag that down onto the mask. And then we see we've got a white mask. We're going to press Command I to invert it. And now you can see we've only shown the sunset image below. So what we want to go is we want to press B for brush. And we're going to select our white top colour over here. And then we're literally just going to go in, we're going to zoom in, and going to start painting in the colours and the lights at the front down here. Just paint the main areas for now. We'll go and do the details later on a bit more carefully with a smaller brush. So just trying to colour all of these areas in. Make sure you do the reflections as well. On this top, because that triangle's quite near the top. I'm just going a little bit closer. So anywhere you see light on the top, you've got to make sure you reflect it in the water as well. Make sure you're not Make sure you go right up into these corners because they need doing as well. Both in the shadows and the actual building. Both in the reflections and the actual building, sorry. Now we're going to move on to the bridge. really careful on this top line that we don't go into the sky at all and create any incorrect exposures like that. And these bits behind as well, make sure these are all blacked out. You don't want to have too much shining through and distracting from here. Going back and checking we've got all these areas painted enough. Just quickly press backslash and we can see what areas we've missed. We need to do down here a bit more. Maybe up there. Making the flexions look good as well is a big part of it. So we need to do all of this building down here. This is the old water tower. The big area I've missed there. This almost looks like the mask just here, all this red stuff. We need to make sure we know that that's not it. Red down there as well. Make sure all of the lights in the building can be seen. Right, that's a pretty good start. Let's see how that looks. That's starting to look fairly good already. So now I'm just going to go in and tidy up, make these lights a little bit brighter, because we know if these lights here are bright, these ones also should be. And then we're going to get rid of some of the detail, some of the mucky bits from this water, and then bring some more colour out of this sky, because we really want it to pop and really look really powerful. Okay, so we're going to do this in fast forward, just so you can see all the details. So there we go. Now we've blended two photos together from different points in the evening to show the sunset and the light as the human eye would have seen it. Hope you found this useful. Any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.